This is how we feel. This is how it feels to be the one left behind, doesn't it? We're just sitting there waiting. Nothing consoles us. We don't want to play. We don't want to talk to the other people around us. We sort of exist in this in-between state for quite a while. You know, we're sort of here, but not there, because a part of us is looking, waiting, searching, right? Craving. I'm naming that craving again, betwixt and between. Let's do something for a minute. I want you to imagine that you're at a train station, all right? If you want, you can close your eyes, you don't have to. But for now, imagine that you're at a train station and someone that you love is getting ready to board a train. The train's going to be departing soon. And maybe you're not sure if you're going to see them again, right? Maybe you're sure you won't. This isn't going to be a brief journey. This is going to be a long one. No certainties. Now, all we kind of know is that they have to go and you have to stay. And I want us to think about this in the perspective of attachment, right? So this attachment, this relationship is undergoing a big transition. They have to go, you have to stay, and this is something that you have no control over. So if we stay with that imagery for a minute, we understand how emotionally loaded this is. There you are, you're standing with your loved one. Maybe you're the one that brings them to the station. And what's that car journey like? What do you speak about? How do you feel? And then you get there and perhaps you're doing some of the details, organizing luggage, getting parking, last minute details creating stress or something, you know. These are just distractions because there's a weight to this moment, isn't there? Right? And then you both get to the platform. Now it's time. They have to board, right? Maybe there's just a few moments here, right? What's this like for both of you? What's going on for them? What's going on for you? Because the attachment is undergoing a massive transition right here in this moment. Do you speak? What do you say? What are you not saying? What are you having trouble saying? Is it better not to speak? Is touch better? What kind of touch? What physical contact do you have? And then let's say that perhaps they get on the train, you can see them through the window, and then it's gone. And they go. And you stand there for a minute, you watch the train leave. Okay. What I really want us to register here is that there's, again, two experiences here. One person has to leave, and they're leaving everything that is familiar to them behind. Most significantly, the people and the place, right? And the other person has the experience of being the one left behind. The person leaving sometimes wishes they could stay. The person left behind might prefer to be the one leaving sometimes. We have no control over who leaves and who stays. And both people feel that lack of control, and they both feel bereft in different ways, and this is a big moment. Now, train stations, airports, hotels, ferries, and other kind of images related to this, they often come up in dreams for people when they're anticipating a transition, you know? So sometimes when a transition is coming or they're anticipating one, the dream time will give us these imageries to show you, you are in between. Pay attention, you're in between. You're neither here, you're neither here nor there yet. It's an in-between state, right? Now, in fact, actually, some of you, if you have loved ones who may be living with some form of dementia, you might see them packing a bag, getting ready for a flight, a boat journey, a train journey. You might see them do this 3, 4, 5 times or even more sometimes in the evening. And what they're enacting, actually, is that they are moving through a transition. They're getting ready. The disease might be progressing. They understand at one level that change is coming, Okay? So a lot of times you will see this imagery emerge around these times. And I think this is actually really helpful, simple way of understanding what goes on when we are anticipating the loss of someone. When two people know we're getting closer, right? Someone's getting ready to depart, we're preparing for that loss, and the two of us together know we're getting closer to this moment. And what do we do with this moment? What do we want it to look like? These in-between stations, in-between places are actually incredibly important. They're also very uncomfortable. End of life is the final one of these between two people before they move into that continuing bond. The difficult truth is that at some point, for all of us, we will have the experience of having to leave people behind. We see this maybe as we're entering into our elder years, or perhaps if we've been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And the other side to this is that at some point, we are all going to probably have the experience of being the one left behind. That's how attachment works. If we live long enough, we may have a very strong sense of having been left behind by many people. Some people are the last one left. And this is really the essence of love and loss, I think. It's incredibly hard to be the one left behind, isn't it? You know? And certainly depending on the relationship or the attachment may feel more or less hard. Sometimes we feel ready when someone goes, like we're at peace with it. You know, those goodbyes at the station perhaps all feel in order. We're content with it. And sometimes less so. Sometimes it feels a bit unbelievable, you know. Sometimes it's shocking. We weren't ready. It was hard to witness. And we don't know how we're going to kind of come to terms with this. We don't know how normal life could possibly resume. I think in truth, and we will think about this, some people don't actually leave the station after someone leaves. They get stuck there, you know. We'll speak about more prolonged or complicated forms of grief where someone has trouble sort of going back into normal life. Now, just recently, I was walking my dog on the beach. This is a fascinating thing. And my dog encountered another dog. And he was, of course, delayed to see her. And he was sniffing her and playing with her. And she wouldn't play with him. She was sort of just sitting there, not moving, like a little sentinel or something. It was a gorgeous little Jack Russell. And he was doing his best to rouse her and, you know, get her to do something and have a run and all of that. Nothing. She wouldn't budge. And I was laughing to myself. I was laughing at her little composure, her little dog composure. She was indifferent to his antics. She allowed me to pet her a little bit. And I was looking around because I couldn't see her owner. I was thinking, what a beautiful dog. This is clearly someone's pet. Where is the owner, you know? There was nobody else on the beach. So the beach is kind of set down and there are stairs leading up to the main road. And they lead you onto a walkway. So I'm scanning around and I look up and I see this woman just standing there staring at her very seriously. And I thought, oh, this poor woman, she's got her hands full with this pet. So I started to try to see if I could get the dog to come up with us, up to the owner, to reunite them, you know. Nope, she just sat there, wouldn't move, staring out into the sea. And I got such a kick out of it. So when I went with my dog up the stairs and I was getting ready to leave, and I was talking to the owner and I met her and I said, oh, you have your hands full with that dog. She knows what she wants and she's not budging, you know? And the woman was very, very serious. And she said, I have been down here for an hour and a half. She said, 2 weeks ago, our other dog, we have 2 dogs, and 2 weeks ago, our other dog got hit by a car. And she said, every day, she used to take these 2 dogs down to the beach and they would play and they would run around and they had this, you know, little relationship. This dog was a little bit older than the other one. She'd kind of keep them in line and that was their routine. And they did it every single day. And she said, anyhow, since the other dog is gone, if she takes her to the beach, the dog sits there and won't move and won't come home. She said, I actually think she's waiting for him to come back. She said, I can't bear it. I don't know what to do with her. There's no consoling her. I can't get her off the beach. So she's telling me this. And suddenly I went from this sort of laughing and, finding such humor in this little dog. I just sunk at the thought of this little dog waiting for the other dog to come back, staring out into the sea, waiting for the other dog to come back. And there was something about it, that really landed. And I thought, this is how we feel. This is how it feels to be the one left behind, doesn't it? We're just sitting there waiting. Nothing consoles us. We don't want to play. We don't want to talk to the other people around us. We sort of exist in this in-between state for quite a while. We're sort of here, but not there, because a part of us is looking, waiting, searching, right? Craving. I'm naming that craving again, betwixt and between. Anyhow, what I'm trying to highlight for us is this is the experience. And sometimes I think these other ways of thinking about it can be helpful for understanding what we're going through, these more image-based experiences. So if there is a part of you that is sort of feeling like that little dog and there's no consolation out there, well, just understand that as you move slowly and carefully through your grief, gently over time, it can get better.